So if you clicked on this video because you're planning on starting a new YouTube channel, or you've already started one in the last 6 months to a year and you're trying to figure out what it takes to have a good channel, what it means to improve, well, today we're going to take a look at a good example by a young new YouTuber, Foto Finn, and see what he's done in the past year on his channel to really take it from starting from nothing to almost 1,000 subscribers, and all the different things that he's learned, improved, and continues to do well as he goes into his second year on YouTube. So if you want to get started and you haven't started yet, my immediate advice is to go create a YouTube channel. It's free, it's easy enough, just create the channel and get started. Now, of course, that requires that you have some idea of what type of content you want to make, and I won't cover that in this video, but assuming that you have an idea of what kind of content that you want to make, and you're just sitting on it, hesitant to start a channel, go start that channel. Open another tab, create that channel, listen to this video, or go make it and come back and we'll chat when you're done. Got a YouTube channel now? Perfect, let's keep going. Now, starting something new, whether it be a YouTube channel, running, sports, fitness of any kind, or a musical instrument or something like that, it's always going to take a lot of practice to get good. And YouTube is no different. If you start your channel and you start making videos and you expect to be good by the first or the 10th video even, you've got a long way to go. If you're familiar with Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hour rule, whether you believe in that completely or not, that's a good example of how much time it takes to get good at something or to become an expert. Now, to get really good and just proficient at something, it doesn't take 10,000 hours, but as long as you're on that journey of continuing to master something, that's a good marker of what it takes to get towards something that you want to get good at. Now, if you listen to the advice of Roberto Blake, you probably have heard the idea that you need to make 100 crappy videos.
My name is Roberto Blake, and I want you to make 100 crappy videos.
And that's totally true. By 100 crappy videos, you've probably put in anywhere between 500, maybe 1,000 hours, depending on the types of videos that you're making, and you're well on your journey to getting really proficient at something. Now, Finn here's only 37 videos into his 100 crappy videos journey, or his 10,000 hours journey, which is only a small fraction of where he needs to go before he starts to get really good at YouTube. Hopefully that gives you a good idea of where you stand, whether you're at your 10th video, your 20th video, or you haven't started at all, that it's gonna take some work. It's gonna take some investment of time, some investment of learning. It's gonna take a lot of effort just to get to that baseline of 100 crappy videos before you really start to figure out your style, your niche, and start to grow your channel. Now, all that's not to say that you might not get lucky and you might not make some really good videos that take off in the algorithm, but that 100 videos is kind of like graduating high school. You've put in the work, you have a good baseline, you may have done some good projects along the way, but by the time you hit that 100 video mark, you're on your way to start to make even better content afterwards, right? That would be college in this metaphor. And while we're on the topic of school, think of it this way. If you were only to get 2 months or even 1 year into learning how to read, and then you gave up because you weren't doing well, that just seems ridiculous, and that's kind of the same thing. And similarly, maybe you have some natural ability, like starting a sport and being really good at the beginning, or starting an instrument and just kind of getting it at the beginning. That's all great. Maybe your first 10 videos will start to take off and your channel will grow really quick. But if you don't put in that effort to practice, to get better, you're gonna plateau really quick. And that's where I see burnout quite a bit. You may be attracted to the idea of having tons of views and tons of subscribers on your channel, but the goal really should be growth and getting better, and there's nothing better than experimenting by yourself without tons of eyeballs looking at you, judging you. And some good news, if you're just getting started and you don't really have any eyeballs on your channel or your work, that's the perfect time to experiment and practice. It's kind of like rehearsing on your own versus rehearsing on stage in front of 1,000 people. Which one is less stressful? Really use that time in the beginning to practice your craft of making videos and uploading them. Get well on your way to that 100 crappy video mark and start to figure out your style and your niche. But what if you've already found your style and your niche and you're starting to experiment with those things? What can you do then to differentiate yourself from the rest of the channels that are out there, especially the big channels that have all the eyeballs and all the subscribers on them? Well, if you go back to the beginning and look at Finn's channel, you can see that in his early work, he's really been kind of copying what the bigger channels are doing, trying to figure out his style.
It's sweatshirt day. Today we're talking ISO and photography. Let's get into the video.
But as he's progressed along, he's really started to figure out what his own voice is, how he delivers content, what things to focus on as he's doing gear reviews and that sort of thing, because that's what his channel's about.
The worst camera I've ever used. Brain and Premiere, And then to finish it off, I threw a free Super
If
8
you've
film
read
of
Steal Like an
overlay on
Artist
the
by
footage.
Austin Kleon, then you'll totally understand that copying is part of the process to finding your own style. And if you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. But because Finn was totally fine with copying in the beginning, not being too hard on himself about being too similar to the other channels, he's taken the time over 30 videos or so to really start to develop the style and how he delivers the content to his own audience. And that's an important distinction to make in itself. Over that time period of experimenting, he's really started to figure out his audience, what his audience likes, what information they like, what types of videos to make, and he's used that information to plan and execute his latest videos. Without going through that experimentation process though and trying different things, copying other creators to see what worked and what didn't work, both in the process of making videos and in the success of the videos on his channel, he wouldn't have been able to get to the last 5 or 6 videos on his channel that he's uploaded where we see a big jump in production quality. And that's kind of what we're all aiming for, is those jumps in production quality. As you practice, as you create videos, as you inch your way towards that goal of 100 crappy videos, you'll start to see areas where you're improving slowly and then you plateau and then something clicks and you make big jumps in improvement of production quality and different types of things. And just like in those analogies of fitness and sports and everything like that, those are those jumps in improvement that we continue to practice and strive for. And for Finn, he started to figure out that his audience, his niche, is pretty much his peers, young filmmakers who need affordable gear. So with that in mind, he's been making affordable gear reviews, and that's worked out really well for him. Rather than trying to do gear reviews on all the other popular gear, the latest Canon, Sony cameras that come out, he's been focusing on things that get the job done at the price point that kids like him can afford. And the success of that is really showing in the views and the comment section of his channel. If you take all the things that Finn's done in the first year, from experimenting to capturing the data of how videos did, to leveling up his production quality, his video and his audio, those are the ingredients that you need to really start to improve your channel. And over time, as you put in the practice and you apply all of those learnings, you'll get better, your videos will get better, and as a result, your channel will grow. And even though everybody always says it, I have to say it too. There's no overnight success. You have to put in this work, and you have to continuously put in this work consistently. Which brings up the consistency and upload frequency issue that we're always talking about here on YouTube. Now, the advice from experts like Daryl Eves, Roberto Blake, Nick Nimmin, all of them, is to try to keep a consistent upload schedule. And if you can do once a week, 2 times a week, 3 times a week, then you'll start to see your channel grow quickly over time. But contrary to that advice, if you're new to creating videos and uploading on YouTube, that doesn't give you time in between each upload to actually learn anything new. If you're so focused on creating the next video that you're just copy and pasting from week to week, trying to get out new content, you're not going to improve. And making 100 videos that are exactly the same is not the same as making 100 videos where you're trying to learn something in between each video. You're much better off trying to make one video every 2 weeks or even one video every 3 weeks and learning something and leveling up in between. Whether that's learning new hotkeys in your editor so that you can edit faster, or trying things like visual effects, or improving your audio quality by experimenting with different ways of recording sound in your home. If you don't leave time for those experiments in production and pre-production, then you're not actually going to learn anything by making a video every single week. So just please keep that in mind while you're stressing about trying to hit your upload schedule. Are you actually learning anything in between these videos, or are you simply pushing these videos out so that you can hit that arbitrary goal of 1 video per week? And while you're leveling up in between each video, it's important to not do that by yourself. As someone who's deeply invested in creating communities for new and emerging creators, I have to encourage you to go find your community and find people who are going to care about what you're doing and help you grow. Whether it's someone that you can bounce ideas off of, or someone who can actually show you how to do that special effect in After Effects, having that community of people is extremely important to your growth. Metaphor alert, it's kind of like trying to learn a sport without a coach. Yeah, you could probably get by really well without a coach, and you could probably even get really good, but without having someone to communicate with, or even a team of people who are going to help you grow that you can practice with and improve along with, you're not going to get very far, or at least you're not going to get very far very fast. Now, continuing to use Finn as an example, he's done a great job of finding community and really putting himself out there to try to find people who will engage with him and who will help him grow. I first noticed Finn actually on Twitter and then in the No Small Creators group, where he's constantly sharing his work, asking questions, and looking to help other people as well as receive help. I know a lot of us at home making videos are introverted, and it's hard for us to go out and find community, but it's a super important thing to do. Go find those subreddits, those people on Twitter, those Discord servers or Facebook groups, and try them out. You don't have to fall in love with every community right away, but it's important that you join in, say hi, and see if that's going to be the community that's the right fit for you. you. If you want to say hi and check out this community, I'll put a link to the feedback family down below, where I'd be happy to welcome you and give you feedback on all of your videos. Now, if you're already creating videos and you're looking for specific advice on different genres, I've done a whole bunch of feedback videos on specific topics that might be pertinent to you. Or check out this one that YouTube thinks you'll like. And if you made it this far, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, share this video with that friend who hasn't started their channel yet, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.